One, two, three.
Welcome to the Smartest Amazon Seller Podcast. Very excited to jump in today. I have a guest that's very proficient and kind of cutting edge in a part that a lot of Amazon sellers set it and forget it. They do it once. Someone told them, they got in their ear, like, okay, I got to do this. And then they either works and they forget it, or it doesn't work and they forget it. So I'm talking about video and its place as a, for growing your Amazon business. I have with me Michael from Social Motion Video. He's got a cool new system, AI is involved, and actually a few little hacks that you were like, oh, wow, yeah, of course that's going to work. So Michael, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Scott. A pleasure to be here. Thanks very much.
Shoot, did I get it right? Social Motion Video?
Yeah, Social Motion is exactly right. We also have a division called videoscience.io, which is a division specifically about what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay. So take me through, I guess, some of your experience starting out with Amazon Video and the challenges. I think I said one challenge is that a lot of people it's a set it and forget it situation, but I'd like to hear your background.
Sure, absolutely. So my background's interestingly enough, I've been in video for over 8.5 years. My partner was a director for large scale TV commercials out of the UK. My background was actually 15 years of e-commerce. And so we started this company when we saw sort of video explode into the market, even pre-Amazon a little bit, actually. Amazon actually has not had video forever, right? I think it's probably about 7 years old or something. It's hard to believe. So I got in the business more or less to look at the metric side, right? The business side of video. I think, video can be an art form, but what people want to see, especially on Amazon or on Shopify and websites, is some result, right? Something they're measuring back to. So it should be pretty, it should be right, but it's got to deliver a result. And that really was what brought me into it. So I've got a lot of background. Over 8.5 years of creating video and 7 years for Amazon for more than 400 brands across CPG, electronics, pet, you name it. We've created video. But there was a frustration there over those years, Scott, in getting that performance data back and seeing those videos really perform. And what we were lacking is some of the insights from brands many times, like you said, set it and forget it and put it up. And more interestingly is so many PPC agencies involved in the video side, really in throttling keywords and optimizing keywords, but they tend to get that creative from the brand and then put it up. And then, hey, it performed or it didn't perform. Yeah, it's not really my problem, right?
Let's just talk about, Amazon and the video component that they put in their search process. What's good about it? What's bad about it? What do you think about their implementation? And I guess, how it results.
Yeah, I think Amazon is pushing very hard on video. There are different placements for video, right? There's sponsored brand video that really comes up with your products and kind of gets you visibility, but also gets you sales. There's now sponsored product video that launched this year, which really gets into functionality and features. It's even lower in the funnel. There's sponsored display to capture new customers. I think Amazon is pushing hard, even putting out AI tools for video. I think the trouble is it's not as simple as just churning out a video. The strategy, Scott, is just as important. And understanding search intent really is where it starts. The question is if there are, let's say, for example, 1 million searches for air purifiers on Amazon, we don't know what that intent is. Do they want it for the bedroom? Do they want it because there's pet dander in their house? Does their wife have allergies? We don't actually know. Now, there are long tail keywords that might kind of guide us and lead us into it, and we can find out more. So it becomes very important to really understand search intent to get the right type of click through rate and results on Amazon. And I think it's new and it's fresh. And I don't think a lot of people are really looking at the data the way they need to.
Yeah. So I presume some people like, do you have any experience with like some people were like the video part of like their advertising is just like just working, just like yes, like some heroes. Um, and then maybe like examples of people where like it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the distinction is in starting with the click through rate is a number one, right? And then the
Okay.
laziness on the side of all these keywords. So one video, hundreds of keywords, very poor performance, right? Under 1%, 0.5% that we've seen. And when you start optimizing and creating variants of videos and then testing, then suddenly you can go from a click through rate of a zero point 0.5. I mean, I've seen 3 and 4% click through sometimes. So the click through really goes up. And the interesting thing about that is that Amazon rewards performance. So if your video is performing well and converting, the CPC drops. And so if the CPC drops, right, then your ROAS is going to be that much better. And so this is very new to the market, actually. I don't think enough people are looking at that side of it.
Yeah. I've always felt that like it's, you know, CPC is like a very you know, weird dynamic where like if if people are clicking on it and they love it, Amazon's like, well, I'm just gonna keep serving this in more situations. It just wins.
Exactly right.
It wins the click, and that's what I want. So we're just gonna let it win.
100%. There's no question that Amazon rewards you in CPC when your video is performing really well, and that in itself could make a huge difference in the performance. And
Yeah,
the second part of this is fatigue, right? And Amazon themselves say, within 3 or 4 weeks, even the best performing videos start to fall off from fatigue. Now, most people don't think there's any fatigue on Amazon, they don't realize it. But it is, in fact, very, very true. Over time, if a video just kind of runs too much without any adjustment or a refresh, it will start to fatigue. So, our belief is, as a company and supporting the brands that we do, is that you've got to refresh, you've got to test, and you've got to optimize video on a regular basis. And this system should pay for itself, basically, when you've got it right.
yeah. So I'm gonna try and describe the audience and why I think so many don't get this right. The audience of this podcast like are generally true like Amazon first operators. They're the ones inside. They're the ones like creating the ad, like the technical parts to it, choosing the keywords. They all know the keyword tools. They know um, uh, a lot like the ins and outs of Amazon. These people don't want to deal with a lot like they're not creatives in the sense of like, oh, I can't wait to go make a new video. Um, that's a
Right.
minority of Amazon operators, the ones that are like trying to like continuously take stabs at their creative, especially video. So, like for them, content just kind of gets in the way. And like you said, a lot of agencies they just grab the content from their brand and call it a day. Be like, oh, check that box, we did video.
Mhm.
And so you're advocating for a more iterative process. I think everyone can believe on that, but maybe even a splintered process where, like, hey, here's the video you use for like air purifier for dogs. Here's something you would use air purifier for your bedroom. Um, can you elaborate a little bit on the yeah, I guess like the partitioning of like different creative and like how many videos is too is
Sure.
enough?
Sure. Great question. So number one is we only advocate for top sellers for a particular brand. So not every product within the catalog really should have this system. The second part is that we're working in conjunction with agencies, not in competition with agencies or brands, and that we have the insight as well into the Amazon data for each client. And when you use that example, Scott, as the air purifier, I think it's just important to recognize that, again, as I go back to that example, if there's 1 million searches per month for just the keyword, let's say air purifiers as an example, within that subset, right, many people are looking, let's say, for the pet or the bedroom use. And so once we start to optimize those videos in exact keyword targeting and what we'll call clusters, right? Getting, let's say, dozen or 20 or 30 keywords together. Once that's a winning video, we can start to not only expand that within the keywords that we're looking at, we can actually use that video even wider into the bigger searches and see how they start to perform. But I don't think we would go out indefinitely forever. If let's say there were 3 killer applications like that were really working for that video, well, we might go down those 3 paths. We might go down one path and test it. So for instance, if pet is working or allergy is working, let's zero in on that and then continue to expand on it. More
How
words, maybe phrase match.
how quickly are you like when you're doing a test on a variant of a video? Are you like swapping in a new video every every 2 or 3 days, every day, every week? What's kind of like a good window for like learning?
Yeah, great question. The way we look at it is it depends on their budget. But with that said, I would look at least, directionally 250 clicks, but really at 1,000 clicks or so, you really start to get better data. And we've seen this many, many times. You kind of put up these videos, and if it's too early and you cut it off too early, you won't get enough data. So we really look at it like a 12-month test, 12-week test period, very small budgets, several clusters, let's say 3 videos. We'd start out in month 1 with 3 videos, a core, maybe 2 variants, and then we'd start to look at that in 2 weeks, and then again another 2 weeks after that, and then start to make the challenger variants every month,
Um,
and continually optimize.
okay. That's not like, you know, it's not like a crazy amount of videos. Like I've seen some people do like a keyword focused strategy, and it's like every keyword under the sun kind of gets its own, take that might be like just like the sponsor brand, uh,
Mhm.
uh not the video. But so just a handful of videos based off of topics. Um, Tell me, how has this changed in the last year or two with like utilizing AI? Do you have a favorite tool for AI like for this video? Um, yeah.
AI is definitely made this more affordable. Uh, we use AI in our process in a few places. I would say we use AI in research. We use AI in maybe in scripting and in digging in deeper into reviews and scraping and looking at like, okay, what is the language? What is the motivation? The video that we're going to create. So when we're thinking about a script first, I first got to do the research on all the keywords. So that's what I would recommend to our viewers, right? First things first is look at all your reviews, look at your keywords, look at the longer tail keywords and find that information. AI can be very helpful there. But as a second step, if you think about Amazon even having a platform to create videos, which they do, um, you can certainly waste a lot of time. I don't think our core competency is over the years, of course, is creating beautiful videos, but really to make effective videos, the key is the research, the testing, and understanding, what is the intent of the buyer. So it's not just making a beautiful video. I think that's the issue. And that's really was my frustration over the years of making videos, right? Oh, the video is beautiful. Everyone in the office loves the video. It's irrelevant. If it doesn't deliver the results that we want, right? it's actually an expense rather than an investment. But lastly, I'd say around AI, the difference is it's a lot more cost effective for us to make a process like this. We could not do this a year ago, actually. It would just cost too much money to output these different videos, do all the research, do all the analytics afterwards, and get it done for a price that would make sense for a good return on investment. So this was not possible 1 year ago, Scott.
I believe that. I mean, I've uh, created very few videos on AI, and I'm like, this is amazing,
Yeah.
but it's also, like, uh, it's such a new uh, area. So that's cool to like hear you say that. Um, now, um, when let's say like a video starts to get fatigue, that means that like I think maybe you already explained it, but I just like thinking through it that most creative ads get fatigue. Like if you've ever been on a social, on Instagram and you get an ad and you get the same ad a third, a fourth, a fifth time, maybe in like 3 months, you still get the same one again.
Right,
Not
right.
effective. That's the most obvious use case of fatigue. Amazon is a little bit different in that, you know, people are seeing these videos on their intent to like buy something, but there still is a fatigue. When this occurs, what do you usually think through? What's the process?
So what we do, and it's so interesting that you say that. Um, after after about 3 months of running videos and challengers, how we stack it up is we'll have a core that's a winner. Then we'll have the smaller budgets that you're applying. Let's say the two challenger videos. So you're always running challengers against it. But by the fourth month, we're taking the winning video. Let's say that winning video is coming in at 4 or 5 times ROAS. We're actually challenging that with a full refresh. We're leaving the successful video up there and then we're challenging it. And that might be a slightly different hook, same core messaging. Maybe we're refreshing colors. Maybe we're refreshing a different room or a different opening, but we're trying to stay as close as we can. But the fatigue does set in for videos. And what's most interesting is Amazon is lower funnel, right? It's the lower funnel place, as you said before. On Meta, it's an interruption of video, right? I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through, I'm going through my day, and so I've kind of paused. On Amazon, I have intent to buy. And yeah, there is this idea like, oh, it never fatigues, but it's completely untrue. I mean, it's shocking to me. The other day, I spoke to a major vitamin brand, 8-figure brand that's running the same video for like 8 months already, and they even need new creative, and they haven't looked at it yet, and everything is very slow. And as I said before, I think the issue is still again for the PPC agencies, video is a little bit of a pain in the butt. And what we're trying to do is partner with them and brands and have creative manage the same way that keywords, continual optimization, and measured against return on investment. And this is an edge for brands. I think it's a competitive edge that they didn't have before. And as I said, it just wasn't feasible a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, but
Well,
people think AI videos is the answer. Like they think like, oh, the easiest thing is you could just churn out a video with AI, but then you're blowing tons of money on ad spend without being methodical. When we create a video, we not only script it, we fully storyboard it, we make sure it's brand right, and it's completely designed around search intent. It doesn't matter how we build that video out, whether we're using some AI or motion graphics, or even if we're filming it.
yeah. Well, you definitely are bringing a performance first lens to this creative process. I think, like I said, I do think that the audience hears the performance part. I mean, that's what I hear. That's, I guess, what I pay attention to. I'm not like,
Right.
when it comes to like e-commerce and business, I'm like, if it looks pretty, that's great. but
Right.
I can do that on my off time. I can enjoy stuff like that. But like right now, it's like, it's kind of performance first. So it's kind of interesting to hear your take on it. And I do think you're thinking through this the way that most Amazon operators would. Well, Michael, if people want to like reach out, want to learn a little bit more, and harness video more out of their business, how can they get a hold of you?
Oh, absolutely. So you can either reach us at our website at videoscience.io, videoscience.io, where you can learn more about the approach. You can reach out to me directly on LinkedIn, Michael at socialmotionfilms.com. So you can reach me directly, and happy to share information on how this approach works. And like as you said, Scott, it's kind of an exciting time for video. It's exciting for
Totally.
me coming out of 15 years of ecom, finally getting to a place where we can kind of leverage data, show some proof, and not just talk about the beauty of a video, because obviously that was a frustration for many business owners. Is this an investment really, or is this something nice? Show the video on the screen in the boardroom, and everybody says, "Oh, that's beautiful and wonderful." The
Well,
bottom line is it delivering a return on
I,
investment?
I'm following you. Yeah, I do agree. There's a lot of things you can do. Um, I, if you're gonna do video, like doing it right, doing it iteratively sounds key. Well, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. I think you had a few ideas that were like novel and unique. That's why brought you on, and uh, I'm kind of excited to see where things go. It's a very developing part of the ecosystem, and yeah. Well, Michael, thank you for coming on.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Scott. It's great. Great
Okay.
seeing
Well,
you.
that's our pod for today. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.